Charles Kim. I'm an Oracle ACE director, and I'm also the founder and president of a small niche consulting company based in Dallas called Viscosity North America. We specialize in Exadata, Oracle RAC, Oracle Cloud, and in particular, multi-tenancy as well. I, at first, was skeptical with some of the new features that you guys were presenting, but I think it's more so because I didn't have the entire vision. And today, having more of that vision today, I see more potential and a lot more, opportunities, especially with the, application containers and how that fits in with, like, even container maps. I see huge potential with container maps, and even the ability to target that for non-multi-tenant customers. So a lot of our customer base happens to be in healthcare and financial environments, mainly because a lot of our customers come to us because of RAC, because of the HA requirements and the scalability requirements. We migrate a lot of customers from AIX to Linux, for example, right? And some of the big concerns that they have is, am I going to be able to scale once I go to Linux? We've invested in, millions of dollars in IBM hardware, and now we're going to, much cheaper commodity hardware running Linux. And so the fear factor has always been, can I scale with Oracle RAC, right? And there are some areas where we've had challenges with our customer base with scaling with Oracle RAC, especially when the application is not designed well. Well, now with container maps, I see a whole world of opportunity, in terms of scalability and even boundaries that we haven't even thought about. When we talk about running Oracle RAC and having, 8 nodes in a cluster, we think about, how we're going to scale. And that's beyond doing things like application partitioning and stuff like that. Now we're talking about being able to put a container map, what I would like to call pluggable, partitions across PDBs, and that's going to be huge. I think it's well designed. I think if you think about a typical software development company, change management is a big concern that they have. And if we can figure out how to do the application root and possibly tie it in with like third-party change management tools like Studio or Embarcadero, Irwin, right? And being able to automate that change management and automating with version releases and syncing on demand on the remote PDBs, I think that can have huge potential too. In our world, we do a lot of managed services for our customers. And having a view PDB for every one of my PDBs, so after we go to 12.2, my plans are to have a view PDB for every one of my production PDBs, right? And even maybe have a separate container database that has nothing more than all of my view PDBs. And so now with a single connection, I can but I can monitor all of my PDBs. I can run all of my database capacity reports. I can do up-down monitoring. I can do, performance metrics monitoring. And I don't have to go log in to every one of my databases from a managed services perspective. And there's also unlimited, application potential there too. Like, like for example, what we did in class, right? A lot of the summarization, a lot of the aggregation, a lot of the analytics from a single connection that can go across all the PDBs, be it local or remote. Well, we use connection pooling, especially, UCP for a lot of our RAC customers. And it's very, helpful for FAN and fast connection failover. Now, if we leverage that to the pluggable database world and being able to load balance across multiple PDBs, especially when we're dealing with container maps and view PDBs, right? I think Oracle's definitely going in the right direction. I see a lot of potential in the connection pooling, specifically for PDBs. I see where they are working on, load balancing across and having min and max connections capable. I see the capabilities that they put in terms of setting min and max connections for each PDB level. And so I think that can be really big in the SaaS environment as well, especially when you're dealing with connection storms that people have, and being able to round robin that across all the PDBs as well. I wish that they would have something like that for the .NET customers who are Microsoft, because that's much needed in that space. And my vote for the View PDBs is Proxy PDPs.
Oh, good.
I think that's going to resonate with people more. The fact that I can actually have a proxy connection to a PDB that's on a different container. And if you're dealing with customers who are in the Exadata space, that View PDB is going to be huge, because now we're talking about having a 40 gig connection, InfiniBand connection, low latency connection across all these PDBs out there, and you can from one container just connect to all of them, right? And if you have multiple Exadatas, right? Now you're talking about just through an InfiniBand switch, just plug in full rack with another full rack, and I can be sitting on one Exadata container database and just monitor across every one of my PDBs. And there will be no performance degradation in terms of my queries that I run. So I see that as a huge thing. Actually, it did. I've done the beta events since 10.1, 10.2, and 11.1. And we didn't have for example, the labs. We had labs, but it wasn't like structured as this one. And so I've definitely seen the maturity. And having the labs definitely makes it easier from a learning perspective, because all the information that's coming to us in this beta event, it's all new, right? But now, just someone like me who likes to get down to the code level, right? I can see all the labs, review all the code examples, and I see exactly what's being done, and that's really big for me.